Mm-hmm.
Many gist. I still find my peace in all. Oh, do I see my notice? Let's say I know the get. Which kind of person is this? Oh, what's in the things of like this? With you begging and I jealous. I'll be doing with friends. Survivor, you need them. Chaser, faster than the bullet. Flying like a rocket. But now we never rest. In the south and the west. Faster than the car. On paper to side. Faster than the pen. So, the bullet. So, what on the ground? Really myself, I'm so bad with that. I need to know how to get to the they won't say anything. They want to know your teacher before you run. Oh my God, oh my God. You are here when I know that you know. Oh my God, oh my God. You are here when I know that you know. Cause my mama be praying for me, say that I get it. Oh my baby, she you go there before my soul. Waiting me this one like this. Been through many things, many cheese. I still find my peace. Oh, you like say me I know this. Like say I know the year. Which kind of person we is? Oh, waiting me this one like this. Been through many things, like my genesis. I've been dealing with families. So I you need to oh, Jesus, faster than the bullet, flying like the rocket, Batman with the birds, King of South Americans, faster than the car, Confederate sad, faster than the bed, so, Batman's on the ground, making myself, I'm so bad this time, I need to know how to get to the they won't say anything. They want to know your teacher before you are. Oh my God, oh my God, you go here and never get it. Oh my God, oh my God, you go here and never get it. Cause my mama be praying for me, say that I get it. Oh my baby, she you go there before my soul.
Timmy J on the track. Listen, no.
I only be my life. See, I spend it like things and right. I will never leave your side. I will never let up. I dedicate my time to you, my guy. I don't need to give up, I don't mind. Cause you be my key for life. Yeah, I'm feeling it tonight. It's like every my guy. I got ready for my time. Right now I'm with my time. I live here and got my time. I see my profession. I cannot be the village. It's like this. I'm under concentration. I'm going to fall over. I'm going to fall over. I can't have my energy. Too present body. Put it all back. I want to be my life. See, I see everything I'm right. I will never leave your side. I dedicate my life to you, my life. I don't need to go my cause you think I keep for life. The emperor, the conqueror, the champion, the lion is here. Zobo, zobo, anybody. And I. Let's help him up, Sarah. Baby, help him up, Sarah. Let's help him up, Sarah. Help him up, Sarah. Yeah, I wanna see you good. Yeah. Tell me I love you when you get good. Help him up, Sarah. Baby, help him up, Sarah. Yeah, that's what I see. Yeah, somebody, I'm expecting to come in on. Yeah, I'm ready. I've feelings and keep on this pandemic. Girl, I get it all on me. I wanna spend it. I need to be your guarantee. I wanna wear it for you. You know I got to take the car keys. For the Maserati, you get nothing. For the Lamborghini, you want me. For the Bentley, you get it. I'll buy the shoes when you wanna cruise. I'll buy the shoes for me to be true. And I like the way I get to dance. So I'll be moving like that. Baby, open up the Sarah. I say, open up the Sarah. Open up the Sarah. Yeah, I wanna see you good. Tell me I love you when you get good. Open up the Sarah. Baby, open up the Sarah. Yeah, that's what I see you guys. Somebody, somebody.
DJ on the track.
All right, there we go.
All right, all right, all right. We want to say thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host, SUBOR Freeman, coming live from the Maima Goyah studio. The time is 5:46 Minnesota time. And so we want to say thank you for tuning in. And once again, tonight we're going to be discussing some very important issues as it relates to politicians or political parties or what we call their vision or their mission statement. For example, like 6 years ago, we had what we call pro agenda, rescue mission. You can name it, so forth, and what have you. But before we go any further, we first want to take this time to say happy birthdays to all those who are celebrating their birthdays in this month of September. We pray that God will bless you with long life, good health, peace of mind, and all of your heart desires. If your birthday fall on your wedding anniversary, we say double shout out to you and your loved one. We pray that God will bless your holy matrimony homes with peace, love, understanding, happiness, and everything that comes with marriage. If you are bereaved, we also want to take this time to extend our deeper condolences to you and your family. We pray that God Almighty will comfort you, will console you during the difficult time of bereavement. But before we even proceed with the show, we're going to take a second of silence of moment on this day, September 11. America, what we call not America, but the whole world came to a complete standstill. So we will take a second to remember those fallen heroes and the people that died on that day, September 11. So let's pause for a second. Okay, we want to say once again to the entire country, those who lost loved one on that day, our deepest condolences to you, especially to our heroes, people who put their life on the line. But before we move forward, I wanted to use the time to throw a light on something that make this country so great. And I don't know why. And I'm not going to look at the entire world, but I'm just going to focus on Africa and Liberia in particular. And the reason why I'm going to focus or zero in on Liberia before we even dive into our topic today is the fact that we live here, we go to school here, and we see how much the people love this country. How much the people love America. The Americans, how much they love this country. And we saw that September 11. When this country was hit on that fateful morning, people from every part of this country came together. And I mean, you could see people seeing danger and running into danger just to save people's lives. And from that September 11, 2000 to this day, the mission remained consistent when President Bush, when he addressed the nation, and when he said he either with us or he against us. And after that, consistently, the enemy from Acadia right now as we speak, there is no more. I don't think there is anything around called Acadia anymore because they make sure from the head to the toe, they destroy everything. But the big picture here is you could see Republican, Democrat, Independent, you name it. Former general, people who are working at the time, they came together for one common goal. And I don't know, when people leave from here, we do not apply that to Liberia. Now, having said that, our main topic today is these political parties, when they are campaigning and they come up with different what I call mission statement or slogan, campaign slogan. Like, for example, purple agenda, and they tell you why they say it is about the people. And now we see what we call rescue mission. The sole purpose of the rescue mission was to come because they told the Liberian people that the country was in a complete deplorable state. And so therefore, the rescue mission was coming to rescue the country from what they call corruption, lawlessness, the disrespect for law, the rule of law, and you name out of the wherever you want to apply rescue to. That was the mission of the rescue mission. But we in September now, today, September 11. September 11. And so we see September 11, now more, and consistently we see things, maybe I would say, where people expected in terms of some of the things that were online, like I said, from the campaign. But I think people are a little bit getting frustrated because the way they're expecting to work and things not going our way. But I want to remind us that prior to this election, we reminded Liberian people that this election, the going election, was so critical to the future of the country. That is, we have to make sure that we get this right. And so we have so many options. And we believe that the best option for us at the time is President Joseph Newman Boakai. But I took my time and explain to us, and maybe I need to remind us what it means when we talk about a democratic party. I try to tell my audience how democracy works. We have three branches of government: the executive. No, let me go in order. The national legislature, your executive branch, and your judicial branch of government. Your first branch, I told us that if whoever the Liberian people were going to elect, we have to give them sole authority, that is both houses, the Senate and the lower house. If we so desire to change that we want. And now there's a particular story that I really want us to look at. And I know it been dancing around now from the beginning of the year since they started working on the budget. And there is holding and pulling and holding and pulling. I don't want you to pay attention to all the Rickman rule, but what I want to draw your attention to, that your first branch of government has been the problem, and they are the problem for Liberia. Yes, Joseph Boakai is the head of the executive, but I'm telling you, until we can work on our House of Representatives and put the rightful people in there that are prepared to do the right thing, then I don't know if any one person can do it alone. Because the reason why that I say this, that first branch of government, they are there, what we call check and balance. They are more powerful than any branch within the three branches of government. They can impeach, they can name it. They can halt, they can shut down the government. That's how much power these people have. But I know people are sitting and saying, but where's the rescue mission? My people, I want to draw our attention to what I call the budget. No country, even the great United States, every year we call something called the budget, where people, like I gave an example. When you have a house and you marry, you got kids. Some people, well, like in my growing up with my dad or in my own house right now in Liberia. Let me just put it into a context again for our Liberian audience. When we were in Liberia at the time, they buy the rest, they buy the cool, and maybe they will say $100 for the month for soup. That is what you call the budget. So your dad take that money and give it to your mom. That money your dad expect that money to run through the month from the 1st to the 31st. That is the budget. So if that $5 your mom spending every day, and then maybe Sunday she says she will make it $7, it left for her to do the math. So at the end of the month, either that money carry her or it fitting before the 31st, but what dad know that, hey, we gave you $100 for the rest of the month. And so you got 4 Saturdays. So Saturday, what will take you dry rest. Sunday will carry a little bit heavy the rest of the week. So here's it. The executive don't have the power. Again, they can write down all the ingredients that they need to cook palm butter. And like you make the listing, all what you need to cook the soup. You need fish, you need crab, you need pepper, you need chicken soup, you need onion, you name it. And you say 10, 15, this is it. Come down to $50. You submit it. Mom look at that list and say, no, why you got $20 for bonnie? We got leftover bonnie. What am I saying? That's how government works. The executive branch of government, they will write down all the ingredients, and guess what they send it? They send it to the dad, which have to be the national legislature. So the national legislature will take it and go over it. Because there's a committee order they call the Ways, Means, and Finance Powerful Committee. That's that committee now will go over that listing line by line, and then they'll ask, yeah, your mark and say, but why you need $50 for this, $10 for that? You have to explain. So we see for the past almost 8 to 7 months, they're holding and pulling about the national budget. There were accusations that the national budget will alter after the final draft. And so today we come and we see it tell us that the acting Minister of Finance testified that President Bouaka requests change to the national budget without the ministry knowledge. That's the information we're getting right now from the news outlets in Liberia. New allegations have surfaced regarding the alteration of the LIBERIA 2024 national budget following a claim that a secret meeting between President Joseph Boakai and the leadership of the national legislature led to a blank concurrence on the budget passage. So we are hearing and say during the Senate investigating, during the Senate investigation, they are claiming that the Acting Finance Minister Augustine Meyer disclosed that the Ministry of Finance had initially sought President Boakai intervention to maintain the 69 million allocation for domestic debt payment. Pay attention. Domestic debt, 69 million. Now, I told you that when you make that list, so the national budget, government say to pay off our debt, we have to include the amount of money in that just to pay debt. Domestic debt, to be very specific, domestic debt. Commercial banks. So that was the initial amount, $69 million allocation for domestic debt to the commercial bank. The legislature say they want to reduce the amount to 20 million. Now, the reason why I need people to pay attention, you know the way government work. Sometimes Liberian people, they hear news and we because we don't understand and the lack of education, sometimes we feel like there's a foul play. And so the minister said, President Boakai had a meeting with the Speaker of the House of Representatives and the President pro tem. He had a meeting with the leadership. That's the first branch of government. Had a meeting resulting in agreement. They negotiated on the debt amount. Later on, the ministry, according to the acting finance minister, they agreed with the legislature on $20 million payment. The minister said you informed the minister that the president has submitted a request to increase the payment to 40 million, reducing the initial 69 million allocation. The president convened a meeting. According to the finance minister, the leadership, both House Speaker and pro tem, in that meeting, they put all the decisions on the floor, and the House and the Senate put theirs. What the president indicated to us was that he'd rather us to come and negotiate, but there was no specific figure agreed on in our meeting. They agreed on 20 million, but later on, we got called that the dynamics had changed. It is where now that we were informed about the president directed that Senator Moore has been displaying. Tension between the executive and the legislature has escalated. Accusation that unknown individual tampered with the budget after it was passed by the 55th National Legislature. A Senate ad hoc committee chaired by Senator Daba of Grand Kidman County has been tasked with investigating the matter. However, the public hearing conducted by the committee on Tuesday, September 11, has unearthed that the Speaker of the House of Representatives and the President pro tem of the LIBERIA Senate, Funadi Kofa and Yombli Lauren Kanga, attended a meeting at the residence of the President Boakai in rehab, Osa Monrovia, 2 days prior to the passage of the national budget by the legislature to make additional allocation without the knowledge of other members of the Joint Committee and the National Legislature, in particular. Break. I want you to pay attention. I want you to pay attention, and I will read this. I will slow down and I will read it. And this is where I'm going to make my point about your first branch of government. I will just go from where they say tension between the executive and the legislature have escalated in accusations that unknown individual tampered with the budget after it was passed by the 55th National Legislature. A Senate ad hoc committee chaired by Senator Daba of Grand County has been tasked with investigating the matter. However, a public hearing conducted by the committee on Tuesday, September 11, has unearthed that the Speaker of the House of Representatives and President Pro Tem of the Liberia Senate, Fanati Kofa and Yombli Lauren Kanga, attended a meeting at the residence of the President Boaka in rehab, Osa Monrovia, today, prior to the passage of the national budget by the legislature to make additional allocation without the knowledge of other members of the Joint Committee and the National Legislature in particular. Let me just stop you there. You say, but where's the point? The point here is if that bro get better. That's what the acting Gusty Meyer is saying. Now, even in America, even in the United States of America, the greatest democracy on planet Earth, these things happen. These things happen. Sometimes when you hear in his country, people use the word the president has to twist arm. You have to twist. Sometimes the president said will drive to the White House, or you invite the leadership of the House and Senate, and because you won't get certain things done. And so this meeting, there is nothing wrong with this type of meeting. On a regular basis, these things happen because why? The President Pro Tem, which control the Senate, the Speaker that control the House, they know they got direct control over both the House and the Senate. So now the president, once the president, what we call the leadership of the first branch of government, which is the national legislature, if they can find a common ground, then they go back and prevail on various committees to make sure that what the president is asking for, he gets it. But here is the difference between that system and Liberia. Here's the difference. Pay attention. Additional allocation without the knowledge of other members of the Joint Committee and the National Legislature in particular. Why? And so when you read and you listen to this story in Monrovia today, the first thing that jumps to your mind that Joseph Boakai is corrupt, or Joseph Boakai is doing things that he criticized in the past. But I'm just here to remind you that the Senate, the legislature, those are independent branches of government. Just how Joseph Boakai was elected, that is how your senator and your representative then was elected. The president cannot fire them or remove them. You, the people of Liberia, can fire because you hired them. So, even, let me just play devil advocate here. Let me just play devil advocate. Even if Joseph Boakai said that, so you want to tell me, Yombli Lawrence Kanga and Fanati Kofa, knowing the fact that, again, the president he's well within the jurisdiction of his power. It's all negotiating, nothing wrong. The president can call in this country, we see it. In America, invite the Senate. Also now you call various committee members, especially when they need some important thing done. And they negotiate. They will not take it back and inform the rest of the body and try to build a consensus on that. And so those people, again, I'm not saying we still fighting the story, but I want you to understand this is how powerful your first branch of government is. Don't overlook it. Because Joseph Baka understands that he can't do it. He can't instruct them to do anything that is done. They got all right to, in fact, they can use it against him. And so now we see that the rescue agenda have been hijacked. The same mistake was made by a seeing horse or representative. They made the same mistake before in the past. Don't forget. The same mistake was made before. You remember? All the crying they were crying about the amount of money that was spent to print. Print Johnson. Print Johnson, when the only person say we authorized the president to print money, but we didn't give any specific amount. So listen to this. Listen to this. Listen to the second paragraph. It also established how both the House of Representatives and Senate Secretariat surreptitiously transmitted and concurred respectively over the passage of the budget without stating the specific figure at which the budget will pass, and failing to submit the working plan and other relevant document which normally accompany letters transmitting the draft budget. Speaking during a hearing, the chairman of the Senate Committee on Ways, Means and Finance, Prince Moy, pointed out that vigorous and thorough scrutiny of the draft national budget for 2024 was carried out by the Joint Committee headed by Representative Dixon SUBOR. He disclosed that following the holding of public hearing, members of the Joint Committee met with authority of the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning on August 28, 2024. He pointed out that during this meeting, a team set up by the National Legislature to negotiate with the National Banks Association on the rollover of domestic debt or commercial bank provided a briefing on the matter. Senator Moye added that during the meeting, the lead negotiator of the legislature, Senator Amara Kone, indicated that the International Monetary Fund and the Bank Association were inclined to roll over the domestic debt principal payment of US 40 to 2025 next budget year. So what I want to bring to your attention here is Liberia problem is bigger than President Joseph Boakai. All these people, they followed the right procedure. The president invited them, they talk about 69 million. They look at the budget, they say, hey, we can't pay 69 million out there. Again, I'm speaking from experience because I worked before as a project grant coordinator for St. Catherine University. This is something that we did. People, we work every Friday. Every Friday, I reconcile budget every Friday. I sit down. The nursing department budget, payroll, which I see the amount of pay that come in, the voucher, everything that we issue, that's something that I know of. And so when you go through this type of discussion, you get, and they take it to the next level now, to government. So you got people why people can do the right thing. So you can sit down and you don't cry with Joseph Boakai. That horse of represent your first national, it's messed up. We keep telling you until that national legislature, the people over there, they're no good. They're no good. Because everything in the procedure will follow to the letter. In America, here we see it overnight. People make phone calls on CNN or ABC. They will show the speaker or the Senate. The people may be close to the talk. But guess what? When people get in a meeting, they tell the president, say, we can get this done, but in fact, that's what the people do. They negotiate. And sometimes you hear the people say they can't bring that bill to the floor until they make sure they get a vote. And so Joseph Boakai did the right thing. My people, okay, 69, national legislature say, oh no, we can't put 69 in the budget, it's too plenty. Okay, can I get 40 million instead of 20? Oh no, it's all negotiating. So what you do? You call the two here. And you call the two here, the president pro tem and the speaker, where they sit down and they discuss. Then they got to take it back down to their people. Take it back to their people. And now, where they got to build consensus. The reason why they agree, and then they use and explain to the committee member and the rest of the people and say, hey, 69, but the president is saying 40 million for the Bengal Association. And so I know we can get in 69, but he's saying he can't take the way people think. So if we pay these people all that money, they're supposed to sit down and say, okay, we're looking at the budget for 2024. The budget got to pass. Saying we can plug in a 69, what wrong with people doing the right thing? And telling the rest of the committee people, the people that work on the budget. So what we'll do, let's go back to the president and say, we can gain 40, we'll gain 30. If you can do the 40, everything here is done correctly. But the point here is, people, as long as people get something for themselves, then they forget about the Liberian people. Okay, maybe democratic system not good for us. Maybe like I hear a lot of people saying, hey, we need a military government. But we have to treat this country with respect. And you just think that the president controls the executive, the national legislature. That's not true. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this, because you can see that he invited the president pro tem and the speaker to his house. Nobody can tell you there is nothing wrong with that. I want Liberian people to understand, according to a democratic system, the president did nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. That's what he's supposed to do. Because he knows those are the two powerful people next to him. Apart from the vice president, those are the two powerful that he needs those people. He had to have a working relationship with those people. And in order to get something done in that house, those are the people that he first got to talk to. And they will not take it back and build a consensus. But here we are again. Things just getting harder and harder and harder, and people are crying. Liberian people, do not put this blame on Joseph Boakai. I understand part of the blame, yes, depending on his policies and the people that he select or appoint to this very position. We know that they are responsible to carry out the policy. But I'm telling you, your first branch of government is so powerful to the extent that they should be able to make the necessary correction, check and balance. Look at what we saw today. Look at what we saw today. The staffer, black, the entrance that the Senate pro tem couldn't even go to work because the people have not gotten paid. The people have not gotten paid. And the budget passed. So the budget passed, just imagine. But you see, the senator then, they got their cars. They ride in their cars. Then the staffer, people that work for them, that keep that bidding going, the most powerful bidding in the country. People are not taking pay. How do you explain this? The same people are complaining about, you know the mistake I made? I told you, Goyah was not the problem. He was part of the problem. And you're seeing it for yourself. How can these people get money? Each of them took $50,000 for cars. But a staffer, people that work for them, people that make the country run. They even care. And so how the country not be hard? But we say that, yo, every 4, 6, 2 years. And you're turning around and you elect the same people. I don't know how you expect the country to change. And then when you place that ballot or the people come to you and bribe you, right now you everybody, look, most people should just close their mouth because in my opinion, these people, they pay for your vote. So until that time can expire, you cannot complain. You cannot. I'm sorry. You can't complain. Can't keep rubbing your stomach or whatever money that you received, use it now to sustain yourself for maybe the next 2 years or the next 4 years. And then again, like I said, ask yourself, take God bring me on the earth to just eat, run behind other people, beg other people, or I need to have my own horse. Myself, I want to ride a good car. I want to sleep on an air-conditioned horse. I want my children to go to school, good school. Those are questions that you should be asking yourself. So again, I told you, we just got 9 months. You already see the problem. We already seeing the problem. And so all people say the budget was auto. And you know the reason why the budget, you know the reason why that secret came out? Let me be honest with y'all. Somebody didn't get a caught. They didn't get a caught. And just imagine people paying, they talk about paying $69 million in debt, domestic debt. Domestic debt, that's what it is, $69 million. You go to the ministry, then you see them, it's so dirty. No fitting pin on the buildings. Bathroom nasty. Cylinder falling down. We don't even know what they're using $69 million to pay what. The rules, deplorable. What about debt they pay for what? Only God won't know. Until we can work collectively together. And that is why we say the change to Liberia is so critical if we get the right people in the horse. In the horse. That their job, check and balance. Check and balance. These people, look, I'm telling you, these people can even impeach the president sitting over there. Yes, that budget can pass. If the national hospital legislature say no way, that means the government will be shut down. I know that for a fact. If they go line by line and say no, we got to streamline the budget. They want, we're taking it out. Nothing. The only thing President Barker can do is to negotiate with them. That is how powerful your horse is. But you don't know that. You're just saying the president. No. And now we see, they say the rescue mission, smoking gun. That's hairline. Smoking gun. Now, if they say the budget with all the knowledge of can you imagine how can the president request a change to the national budget without the ministry knowledge? Does that make sense? Okay, even if the president said it, so what you got the other people there for? Okay, let's agree. Like Joseph Parker said, okay, yeah, I want teachers. Instead of giving me 69 million, since you're giving me 69 million, I want 40 million. So you want nobody in the room? Nobody in the room to say, young Bill Kanga, Fernando man can say, Fernando Kova can say, you know what, you're right. But we have to go back and we have to discuss the issue. Or Mr. President, no. We need all the party involved to be present. So if one person is doing wrong, everybody will just follow it. When people you see, people don't even take your they don't even take you into consideration when they're making decisions. And that is the frustrating thing. And that is why I wanted us to really discuss this. That's how government work. Somebody can come and say, free, my man, blah, after you say no. Common sense. There goes Steve. Hey, he left with me. I'm an adult. I got sense enough. But Labrador will just, you will sit down and you will just think everything is on Joseph Burger. I told you. And Open said the same thing. His last speech he gave, he said we feel like people because people are so consumed about themselves. So he wants to say nobody in the room can even talk sense. And so even if Joseph Burger say, okay, can you imagine how Joseph Burger can request that type of change without the people who are responsible to raise the you know what the finance planning development. You think that ministry is the and every people know the importance of finance. So how can they make that? How can they? I really want to know. With all the finance ministry knowing. And if you say that, then so the people that work there, they couldn't say no, but Mr. President, if we do it, do it right. But you sit down there and you see, oh, the rescue mission, now. We not give the president any pass yet. Make no mistake. The reason why I'm using the time to talk about this issue because the budgeting we've been hauling and pulling, about this budget, the budget. Because a lot of times Liberian people will only talk about the president, but they don't look at the first branch of government. And I want you to understand it's wrong. It's wrong. That building is rotting. Can you imagine people go when they eat, their family sleep they eat on times. Black card are children in school. But the other people are working with them right there. They put out the black capital building today. You can really think that the people that they put to they got family. So there was a difference. But guess what? All the people say Joseph Parker. We make it a mistake, my people. We are making a mistake. It's frustrating. We read back to the same place. 6 years, people were complaining. And now, it almost like we're going 6 months again. Can you imagine that? People complaining, country high. Can you imagine? Capitol Hill, Monrovia, on Tuesday, a group of Senate staff at the Capitol building staged a protest, blocking Senate Pro Temple, Yombli Laurent Kanga, motorcade for entering the Capitol building. Pay attention, the motorcade, that means she got more than one cars. Yeah, coming with a motorcade. Yeah. The staffers set up roadblocks to express their frustration over unpaid wages, unfulfilled promises. Look at this. According to staff leaders, they will assure extra pay for their work during the special legislative session. However, while they watch lawmakers receive substantial salaries and benefits, their own compensation remain unaddressed, leaving them no choice but to demonstrate in order to draw the lawmaker attention. See how heartless these people are. How heartless people are in Liberia. They got their part of the pay. Ah, my people, this is so it's hurtful. They receive substantial amount, salary and benefit. Wow. First thing first, anytime the president requests that the national legislature come back for emergency session, they get paid for that. They get paid. So to every year that the Senate pro tempore says she disappointed over the action, she clarified that there have been no promise of additional pay for special session, and urged the staff to remain calm. So you expected the pool to pay that way kind of way. But you should get paid for the special session, but they can get paid. Can you imagine the Senate staff of protest camp as lawmaker have reportedly been receiving their $45,000 each for vehicle, $45,000 each. $45,000 each. We would, for example, will you for 5,000 K to purchase 2 vehicles, 220,000 for my official use, office operation, complete other district offices, capital bypass, and allocate a remaining fund for tuition payment, fund for our district festival starting in November 2024, and fund for at least the other man is saying what you're going to do with the money. But just imagine that the type of country we're from. Ali, according to him, each of the guys received $45,000 for car. So why change that? Why change? And what the rules said they get to drive that car on? Same old, my people. Same old. And stay Liberian people. Even the police people say that in the street. They even get fitting uniform to wear. Now just cow. Just for a car alone. Each of the guys. Can you imagine that? Each person. Because the senator then got 50,000 and now the representative got me get 45,000 each of them. Yeah. Lord have mercy. But folks, we really want to take this time to say thanks to each and every one of you for tuning in. And before we leave, I know we all watched the debate last night. And I just wanted to draw our attention. This is something that I know in some areas people found it to be funny. Yes, indeed it was. But can you imagine a miracle last night? Everybody tuned in. And the headlines from every media outlet, from CNN to ABC to MSNBC to Fox, taken by the radio stations, BBC, you name it. One thing that captured the headlines, the descriptions of immigrants in America, accused of eating dogs, cats, and a people pet. And I know our leaders all over Africa were watching last night. But they don't even have the pride or the guts to do the right thing, to say, you know what I mean? We have to make the continent better with all the resources, with all the blessing. Let's improve our country so our people can stay. I want to talk about the rest of the world. I just want to narrow my attention on Africa. They all were watching last night. But these people, some of them are complete dogs. They care less. Selfish, and greed. Selfish, some of them didn't care. It's all about them. And the continent just continue to the suffering alone in Africa, the continent of Africa, is unbearable. And you see that the people will watch. Nothing can remove them. Nothing to say, hey man, some kind of pride. And the election has come down to one thing: immigrant. That's all of the day. And rightfully so, the people are saying, hey, too much influx of people coming. And one man in Africa, you see a horse, you see he got fleas of cars. But they sit down, I don't know, I really don't know how Africa going to get out of this mess. Only God knows. But one thing I can say, the majority of the people going to sit on the side and allow few people to continue to enslave us and suffer us, then we'll stay on each side. I think at some point in time, we have to rise up and say enough is enough. God bless the continent. We all deserve to enjoy the resources of the country. And so we want to take this time to say thanks to each and every one of you for watching. We pray that whatever time you use on us, God will multiply it back to you. We want to say thanks to Kaziri. We want to say thanks to Dana, Shante Thomas. We want to say thanks to Asiafa, Kamara, and the rest of the crew. And so I want to remind you, today is Tuesday. No, today is Wednesday. Don't forget the prayer line. Don't forget the prayer line. That number is 763-220-3265. Once again, this is your host, SUBOR Freeman, saying, so long from the members of Goyah studio. You have a wonderful, wonderful evening and stay blessed. We will be back here on Friday. Good night, everybody.